3 questions?
You scowl. There are a number of ways you can approach this.
Come on, I don't have all day.
The voice chides you.
You've already seen what your indecisiveness has cost you. Chop chop.
No time to stop and think. You'll have to go with your gut.
What must I do to get out of here?
The voice sighs a bit over the speaker. It seems disappointed with the question.
Predictable, but not an inane question. To escape this facility, you must of course survive the tests set forth for you. Do that long enough and you'll find an escape sooner or later.
You can almost hear a smile creeping into his voice.
You actually have an opportunity to escape in the next room, if you play your cards right.
An escape in the next room? But he seems too excited about it. Is this the lie? Or is there some other catch?
Next question.
The voice demands, an eager hunger creeping through his tone.
How did I get in here?
You ask before even processing the question.
Ah.
The voice nearly purrs with delight.
Now that is a more interesting question than you may realize.
His excitement fills you with dread.
You were brought here piecemeal from the parts of 17 individuals and assembled surgically, attaching those parts into one composite person.
That can't possibly be true.
You stagger backwards, the room spinning as you grapple with this statement.
You never wondered why you can't think in a linear, decisive manner? Why you're always at war with yourself?
You turn towards a section of floor covered with more clear liquid than blood or bile and walk over to take a look at yourself. Scars line your face like a spiderweb, holding the skin on your head in place. Your eyes are different colors, one brown, one green. As you look closer, you can even pick out slight differences in skin tone between individual sections of skin.
This is unreal.
You look at yourself. These scars could mean anything, right? Just because some voice on a radio tells you your scars are from some impossible bullcrap sci-fi surgery doesn't make it so.
Especially when I know he might be lying to me.
Last question.
The voice demands. You bite your nail and try to think of what to ask last.
Should I ask for a follow-up to the previous question? Maybe ask a clarifying question to see if I can lock down what's the lie? What's most important? Finding a way of escape or finding out who I really am?
What is most important? The answer is obvious. You surreptitiously give the dog an apologetic smile, then confidently ask your last question.
How can I save her?
More important than who you are. More important than escape. The most important question you need answered is how to save Alice.
Her? You mean Alice?
The disdain nearly oozes from the speakers.
I suppose I could play pedantry and respond with a different her, since you didn't specify.
A silence stretches out, and each new second feels filled with anger.
Is it possible one of the earlier answers was a lie? And now he has to tell the truth on a more sensitive question.
She's a program, not a person. She's just a trick designed to act like a human being. Like me, she doesn't have a soul.
Like me?
You want to save her?
The voice scoffs.
Put her on a storage device. Hit Control-S, it doesn't matter. That's the only way you can save a thing like her.
You grimace and look back at the blood-soaked corpse of Alice, her left eye socket still filled with drying blood.
What sort of program bleeds?
That answer must be the obvious lie.
But why make it so obvious?
Well, we've had our fun. Time to get back to the tests. I'm really going to have to pivot now. I had a lot planned with those clones and the good doctor. Guess we'll have to do something else instead.
The radio crackle ends, and you look up at the dog. His canine face seems frustrated somehow. Something about the expressive eyebrows.
He must be upset I didn't use his idea.
You shrug apologetically, and open your mouth to speak when the radio crackles to life once more. You jump in surprise as the voice gives one last comment.
I'm really rooting for you, you know. You seem like the most likely candidate. All the others have been abject failures, but you give me hope.
There is a clicking sound on the wall at the far end, and a door swings open. The dog above you lets out an emotion-laden huff and picks itself up before moving through the vents in the same direction as the door.
I'm sorry, Alice.
You whisper softly before taking a look back at her corpse, knowing you will never see her again. You hold your head high, your intention set. If the next room holds a real exit, you will do what it takes to obtain it. You walk into the next room. It seems more like the first room you awoke in, more clinical and white. Ahead of you, as promised, is a door with no obvious traps or obstacles blocking it.
It's probably electrified and will shock me to death if I touch it, or something like that.
You look around the room to see what nightmarish challenge you'll be faced with, and lock eyes with a young woman in a red-ribbed sweater you are all too familiar with.
Alice?
Her eyes narrow and her fists are clenched. She speaks in a way that sounds like begrudging recitation.
You have two choices.
Something was slightly different about her voice, though she looked the same.
You can leave through the exit behind you, and I'll stay locked on this side of the glass. Or you can shift this glass pane and let me out. But if you do, the exits on your side will lock. You'll be stuck in here with me.
She stares at you with her piercing, questioning green eyes, boring holes into your soul.
I don't want to be left here, but it's your choice.
Alice, is that you?
Your mind swims.
That's not possible. I watched you die.
Wait, what?
Her eyes now show confusion and fear.
What do you mean you just watched me die? I'm right here. Tell me what you're talking about. What did you see?
There's no way. No way that voice was telling the truth. But if she isn't an AI, how else can she be here?
Two sets of choices lay before you. Firstly, do you A, free Alice and stay trapped in the madman's experiments together? Or B, try and leave alone and come back with help? Secondly, do you A, tell Alice what you have experienced together honestly? Or B, shield her from the terrible truth of her death and her supposed nature as an AI? The choices are yours.